Friends, family members, loved ones, we are gathered here today to not only mourn, but to also celebrate the life of this camera, which is unfortunately not here because my dad threw it away. Because of course he did. It may have had a short life, but had a life filled with stories and slices of life that it captured perfectly. It brought pure joy to everyone around it, but especially me because I was the one closest to it. I vividly remember the Christmas it came to my house, and when I first turned it on, I immediately decided that I was going to record the dumbest thing this poor camera has ever seen. And this includes me running around with it outside, recording my DS with it, and most importantly, me spinning the armband on the camera so that it turned the camera really fast, which made the video unwatchable, but I was not a smart kid back then, so I suppose it was understandable. I had this lovely little camera for quite a while, which was surprising because I was a clumsy kid, and I broke everything I touched. We don't talk about that. I don't exactly remember the day it started malfunctioning, but I was very sad when it started to give up a bit. I think the reason it malfunctioned was because I dropped it. And then it broke the poor little camera screen, the little camcorder screen, but it was still usable because it actually held a charge, and if I held it right, I could still get it to function properly. But then it started to not hold charges at all, and it started to take forever to turn on. That's when I knew it was time to let go of this little camera. I tried to store it somewhere safe so it wouldn't break further, but at some point my dad got a hold of it and decided to throw it away with me watching. Yes, it was a camera. People don't get attached to cameras, but for me it was really important because I could record myself doing things that only I could do. So it's only fair that we're gathered to mourn its untimely loss. After the camera was gone, I felt awful, as if I had lost a real-life friend. That little camera went through everything with me together. I took it everywhere whenever I got the chance and recorded absolutely everything, including the most ridiculous things like putting it in the cupboard and recording myself screaming with it. I don't think the brand makes a camera like this anymore, and if they do, it's probably really expensive, so maybe this camera is one of a kind. After a little bit, though, I started to feel better because I knew that it got to do all the things it was made to do, and that's important. Well, I tried to come up with a good proverb for today, and I decided that in the end, one man's trash is another man's treasure. I think this applies to this little camera because it was a cheap little thing I threw around like a monkey, but I loved it to death. Ultimately, we are not here to mourn the loss of this camera, but to truly celebrate what technology can do for us, even if it's something simple like recording the best or dumbest moments that happen in our lives. I know it's really odd to mourn technology, but sometimes we become attached to these things because it brings simple joy in a time when we might need it. I hope you take some time to appreciate the little things in life that bring you simple joy, even if it's a cheap piece of technology. Thank you.